Well, we want to give you an update on a story that we've been following here on In Business, and that's Walmart's quest to expand into the union stronghold of Chicago. Chicago got its first Walmart back in 2006, but any expansion plans in that city were more or less halted up until just now. Walmart now has one scheduled to open in 2012, and the city council in Chicago voted just last week to allow a third Walmart. So we wanted to bring back in Professor Dorian Warren of Columbia University, who's been tracking this story. And this really isn't just a one company story here, Dorian. As you know, world's biggest retailer, largest private employer in this country. Virtually every city is watching what happens in Chicago to see whether they're going to have a similar experience. What did we learn from Walmart's expansion in Chicago?
Well, we learned two things. First, that it took a long time. It took 6 years for this third store to be approved. This was a store on the south side of Chicago on the site of a former steel plant. So Walmart was persistent, but it took them a long time to expand into this urban market. But secondly, we learned that Walmart is potentially ready to sit down and negotiate with unions to...
Which is shocking.
Absolutely shocking and precedent setting. So
they have very, very few unions union workers on their payroll. But
that's right.
But it seems like, based on Bloomberg's reporting, that perhaps more was made of this than is reality, in that Walmart negotiated with the construction unions, but not the actual people working in the stores, the retail unions.
That's right. Although they did say that they negotiated a wage increase slightly above the state minimum wage for their employees in the store, but then 3 days later, they actually said there was no agreement. So there's some question about whether there is a true agreement with the employees inside the store, and if so, the city council will be watching to see if Walmart upholds their promises.
So is there a lesson that we can sort of extrapolate to other cities? I mean, it seems like obviously construction unions, construction workers are in a lot of pain because of the economic declines in this country. Is that an entry point for negotiation for a retailer like Walmart? Potentially,
and Walmart has saturated non-urban areas, so they actually need the city to continue their expansion. And it's tough for them, so they're realizing they're forced to negotiate with building and construction trade unions and potentially city leaders who also have some concerns about the wages of their workers inside the store.
You specialize you look very carefully at sort of the politics of unions. Much is made about this administration and the favoritism that some say is played for unions in supporting the Democratic Party. Other skeptics say unions are on the decline. What's your take?
So unions have been on the decline, especially in the manufacturing sectors and in the private sector. This administration has changed its tone around labor relations. So it's between the Department of Labor and the National Labor Relations Board. It's much more aggressive at enforcing labor laws and supporting unionization in the private sector. So yes, it's an open question as to whether unions will bounce back quickly, but they have been in decline over the last 40 years, and we'll see what happens over the next decade, especially as unions try to organize Walmart.
Can you say their fate's shifting now?
We'll see. It's an open question.
All right. Well, we hope to follow your work and perhaps get the answer on that. Thank you, Professor Warren.
Thank you.